Welcome, everyone. It's the Mike Tech Show, show number 887. So, first, I'm going to, tomorrow is my 63rd birthday. And I received a gift that I opened up earlier today from Mike Cooley, who's our moderator in the chat on all the live shows, and AKA Taz, his nickname. And he sent me a beautiful present that I'm going to show you. I want to mention next Thursday is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody early. No show next week. And excited. My wife's coming back down. She gets in on Tuesday night, and then we're going away Wednesday and Thursday. And Taz will know this. The hotel your friend got married that we stayed, that's where we're staying. And then I have reservations for Tuesday night, the place where it's on the waterfront, and it's a place where the reception party was for the wedding that we went to a couple years ago, Taz and I. And I'm taking my wife there. And then I reserved Thanksgiving dinner on, there's a yacht that has 3 settings for dinner for Thanksgiving, a buffet. That's a 2-hour cruise with Thanksgiving dinner. So that's perfect. So looking forward to that. And very, very happy. So next week. So anyway, I'll be having fun next week. I hope you do. And spending time with significant others and family, and have a great Thanksgiving. And then we'll be back here Thursday, November 30th. So what's on tap for tonight? I am going to discuss how to program in VBA. If you know nothing, which I didn't know anything, I'm going to show you. I'm going to give you the tools on how you're going to learn and use VBA, which is Visual Basic for Applications, and I'm going to demonstrate that in Microsoft Word. And I put together a document. You don't have to worry about anything. You can click on the link in the show notes, and you're going to be able to get the document where I put everything together. So first, let me show you the present. Now I'm going to describe this. This is a big glass covered, and it's framed, and it's the Rat Pack in front of the Sands Hotel and Casino. And there's even cards from the Sands and a chip from the Sands Casino. So, Taz, Mike, thank you so much. I just got to figure out how and where I'm going to hang this. It's heavy. Going to have to put a couple anchors in the wall. So I will get that. I'm going to get someone to help me hang that so it's done right, so it's not going to fall. But thank you so much. An incredible gift. All right. Now, and if you're just listening to this and you can't see it, hey, go over to YouTube at Michael Smith MTS on YouTube and take a look at the beginning of the show, 887, and you will see what I showed everybody. Okay, how to create VBA scripts in Microsoft Word. And I'm going to review a few things about what it can do, how to do it. And it was all generated by ChatGPT. I needed to complete something, and I wanted to see if VBA could do it, and it could. And I went to ChatGPT, and I typed in, how do I start VBA? And then it took me down the road of examples and how to do it, and I was able to do it. So to start out, I decided, okay, what can you do with it? How about some ideas? So and remember, everything I'm doing is in a PDF document that you're going to be able to download. Automation. VBA scripts can automate repetitive or time-consuming tasks, such as generating reports, data processing, or formatting documents. And it can save you an incredible amount of time. Customization. You can create custom functions and features tailored to your specific needs. For example, you can design custom templates, forms, or macros that match your organization's style and requirements. Data manipulation. VBA scripts can help you manipulate data within your document, including searching and replacing text, extracting and formatting data, and performing calculations. And you're like, well, wait a second. How am I going to do that? Well, you know what you're going to do? You're going to go to ChatGPT and you're going to say, give me a sample data manipulation script, and let it just generate it. Have an integration. You can integrate Word with other applications and services. For instance, you can create a script to interact with Excel spreadsheets and access databases or web services, allowing you to exchange data seamlessly. This can open up a whole new area for you, that things that you can help clients or maybe charge to say, look, I can do this, and this is how we do it. Workflow streamlining. You can streamline workflow by creating customized forms, dialog boxes, and interactive user interfaces that simplify complex processes and guide users through the task. Error handling. You can implement error handling mechanisms in your scripts to catch and manage errors. Consistency. VBA scripts can enforce consistency in document formatting and content, making it easier to maintain a uniform style or structure across documents. That can help you with lots of documentation on compliance, where maybe you have a certain form. Now, I'm thinking of some of the templates I have for compliance and integrating VBA into helping me generate better documents. This is incredible. Reporting. Generate detailed and automated reports that compile and analyze data. These are things that I'm giving you examples of what you can do with VBA just within Word. Task-specific solutions. That script to enable you to build solutions for specific tasks or challenges you encounter, making Word powerful and versatile. Custom add-ins. You can develop a custom Word add-in in VBA. Accessibility. Okay, can be used to improve document accessibility by adding features that assist users with disabilities, such as screen readers and navigation aids. This is really powerful. Data validation. You can create a script to validate and enforce data input in forms, reducing the chances of errors and ensuring data integrity. So overall, VBA in Microsoft Word provides a flexible and powerful environment for tailoring the application to your needs, simplifying tasks, improving productivity. And it's important to write VBA code responsibly, test, and ensure that it doesn't introduce security risks into your document or system. So that is literally just a sampling of things you can do with VBA. So how do you get started with VBA? And I also have that in the link on, in the notes on how to do that. So let's open up Word. You can also do a lot just in Windows. Yes, with VB script. And that, thank you, Jack in the Box. That is correct. And, I didn't even think of that when I was putting this together. So I'm going to launch Word and put it on the main screen here. And let's display that. And I'm going to walk everybody through this. So remember, this is going to be in the document. So first, you want to get the developer, and if you can see I'm pointing to this, you want to get the developer option in the toolbar, in the customized ribbon. So first you have to go to File, then Options. Then what I want you to do is go to Customize Ribbon. Now, on the right side, where you have all the tabs, go down and make sure the developer option is checked. It's as simple as that, and then you click OK. And now you have a developer tab with all sorts of record a macro. You just click for Visual Basic or just hit Alt F11. So now we have developer, you just click Visual Basic, and now what'll pop up, and I'm going to drag it over to the screen, is your Visual Basic editor. Okay, cool. So now let's do something from, let's actually do something, and I'm showing ChatGPT here real quick. And so I'm going to copy the code from this. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go Insert, and you want to insert a module. And now this is where you write your code. Well, you can go to ChatGPT, do what I just did, tell it to write the code for what you want to do. Take a look at it. You can always edit it and change it. You're going to get a sample. So this is the first sample of like hello world. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am just going to right click and paste my first macro. It's going to pull up a message box and say hello world. So once you do that, you can just close the script editor, and now all you want to do is run that macro. And to do it, you press Alt F8 is what you do. So let's do that. I'm going to hit Alt F8, or I think what we could do is go Developer and click Macros. So now that we activated the Developer tab, you don't have to hit Alt F8, but you could do the same thing. Even if you don't want to activate the Developer tab, just hit Alt F8. Now for this document that I have, every macro name, which is the beginning of each of the scripts, is going to be listed there. And you could just click Run, and there you go, a message box, hello world. So this is the simple thing of now you can write a program for VBA in Word. I'm teaching you how to fish here. So think about this for a second. You don't have to just do this with VBA. Think of all of the things. PowerShell. How easy now has PowerShell become for us? Because I want to do more complicated scripts in Synchro in managing my clients. And one of the things I've been constantly putting off is learning PowerShell. And you've heard me talk about it. Well, now, I got a little basic understanding, and I've done some little scripts. Now we could take it to the next level. Could do it with anything. I'm just picking VBA for Word, something that everybody has Word, and this is something that's built in. You're not buying anything else, and you can just test this and work with it. So I wanted to show an example, show you how to implement it, and give you the tools for taking off with this. So let's keep going. For the rest of my document, I have here's simple tasks. Record a macro. Word also has a macro recorder that can help generate VBA code for tasks you perform manually. So you find it in the developer tab when I showed you that. You just start recording all of your keystrokes and everything you're typing. And then it'll convert that into the VBA code. So anything that you got repetitive, do it. And you know what? Record it so you could start doing it. So with that, some things to try, and I have in here, there's some sample scripts, and it's word automation VBA scripts can be used to perform various tasks from document creation, formatting, everything that I talked about, data manipulation, report generation. And here are some examples. Create a new document and add text, right? Find and replace. How easy is that now? If you got something complex for finding and replacing that you need to do, how about a long path that now has changed that you got to go through your documents? And you could do this in Excel. So think of, you're making a major change in Excel and you got to do you could do the same thing by just, okay, you learned how to activate this in Word, do the same thing, activate it in Excel, and run some scripts in Excel. Create a table and populate the data. There's a little example here. Generate a report from Excel data. Mail merge. This is what got me into wanting to learn some VBA and do it. And it's about mail merge. I get asked that a lot from the paralegals and secretaries and of clients, and I hate having to say, boy, don't ask me on how to use Word. Ask me, to help you with any errors or getting it installed or getting set up. But I'm not a big user to be able to teach. I mean, some simple things, yes. But that's what happened to me with Adobe. I started getting into that because people were starting to ask more complex questions about the application. So I took a class online, I remember a few years ago, in using the full Adobe, how to merge documents and how to combine a whole lot of different emails into, and how to make that happen. Now go to ChatGPT, say, how do you do this? And, teach me how to blah, 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 and put that in there in ChatGPT. So mail merging, I intend to take that to another notch, to another level. Here we go. Create custom forms and dialogues. A nice example. Here's a great one. And it's the last example in this document. Protect a document with a password. How many times have you been asked, well, how about having a little script that you can put in the documents for asking for a password? Anyway, this is just to get the juices flowing, getting you thinking. Taking Word to the next level. Word on steroids. Whether you're doing it personally for yourself, where the company you work for, or clients that need some more advanced capability for help. You may get a lot more billable hours based on doing this, or teaching your client how to fish. I always say that. I don't want to feed you. I want to teach you how to fish. So I just told that to a client yesterday, and it didn't work because he said, Mike, remember, I'm a vegetarian and I messed this up, So he was missing a column in his Excel spreadsheets, all of his Excel spreadsheets. And I said, it's hidden. So I said, Google how to unhide. He did. He says, I did it. I said, okay. So this morning I logged in and I found that it wasn't hidden. the slider for moving the document, because it was so big and it couldn't fit on his resolution on his monitor, he couldn't see it because it was below the toolbar. I said, you need to maximize your Excel spreadsheet on your monitor. And now you can see all the things that were missing. And guess what? The slider, all I had to do was move it over. There was his A column that he thought was missing on all of his spreadsheets. Simple things like that sometimes it takes, and, I wanted the client to try to solve this himself, but, I wasn't anticipating that. So getting back to this, the final paragraph in this document, it's just a few examples of what you can achieve with word automation using VBA. And you can combine these scripts and customize them, create more complex, go back to ChatGPT and give it a run, give it a test. So this will be a PDF download, which will be a link in the show notes for chat. I'm putting a link in there for ChatGPT. If you haven't explored ChatGPT, you absolutely have to. And this is one practical example, which should lead to a lot of other things to get you to think about. You're like, Mike, I don't need anything about Word VBA. Okay, fine. But there's going to be something that you want to learn. And start out with ChatGPT to teach you. Start getting you examples of what you want to do. Think of what we've reduced coding to. Now, I always look at, you're always going to need an expert and someone who's been professionally, teaching themselves and going to school or whatever and learning the programming. You're never going to, I shouldn't say never, but someone who doesn't have an idea of how to do it and just using ChatGPT to try to do it, I think that's going to present a challenge and it's going to be difficult. But that's not what we're trying here. We're dipping our toes in, we're getting our feet wet, and we're learning something that maybe we're afraid of before because it was coding and we never wanted to code. And it's easy when you're doing this and you got some examples and you can go back and take a look. I'll never forget my TI-99 4A days. And I used to get Compute Magazine. Boy, I'm aging myself. Yes, you can tell I'm going to be 63 when I finish this story. I would get it every month and I couldn't wait to look at the sample coding program that I would sit and I would code in TI Basic, and sometimes you needed the Enhanced Basic cartridge. Anybody, so you had more advanced commands, and I loved doing that, and I learned by doing. I taught myself TI Basic by literally coding for that was already written for me in Compute Magazine. This is sort of the same thing. We're using ChatGPT now for, hey, teach me, show me, give me some sample code here. And then you'll get the foundation and you can start taking off from that and build upon it so you can create your own. And I want to hear some stories of if you were motivated by this show in taking on something with ChatGPT like that, and you taught yourself how to do something that you've never done before, and let me know, email me, MikeTechShow@gmail.com. Be greatly appreciated. I want to thank a listener where we were in a competitive bidding, proposals on support for an office. And I want to thank him because he was a listener. And because of that, he reached out to me and we had some Zoom calls and I was able to put a proposal together where we were picked today, MHS Consulting, for the support. And I appreciate that. And I'm mentioning this as opportunities happen if you need a consultant. You need someone to help you with compliance, maybe with support. Your company or another company, and they need some remote support that on a regular basis for monitoring. Maybe they need better backups. Maybe they need security policies, whatever it is. If there's some IT needs that you see, let's see if we're a fit, MHS Consulting. Because I have clients that are retiring. One client was just purchased by a bigger entity that had a much larger IT department, and now I'm migrating them away. So because of that, it's kind of, all right, I'm going to use this platform as the advertiser. The only sponsor of the show here, the Mike Tech Show, is my consulting company, MHS Consulting. So email me if you want to have a discussion about anything for support. And of course, there's always a donation button. If you got something out of this and maybe it helped you make some money, hey, think of the Mike Tech Show and could really appreciate it, your help. So that's it for tonight's show. Again, I wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. If you're celebrating Thanksgiving, because I know you're listening from another country, you're like, we don't have that, So, but in the States, big deal next week. So everybody stay safe and see you back here the week after on November 30th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Twitch. That's it. Bye-bye.